Hello, I'm Dr. Rob. How are you all feeling today? Well, I'm glad you're all here because I've got a very important patient coming in for a checkup. In fact, they should be here any minute now.
Hello, Doctor. Can you see me?
Hello, Earthy. Yes, I can see you, but you're a bit close at the moment. Could you move your camera back a bit? Maybe rest it on the moon?
How's that?
Much better. Now, let's just see. You're here for your checkup. Gosh, you've got a long record. Previously had asteroid strikes, various eruptions, and more recently acid rain, which I see has nearly cleared up. You also had a hole in your ozone layer over your southern hemisphere, which must have given you a very painful bottom. I can also see that last time you were here, you were running a temperature with some signs of climate change. Now, that's a very complicated issue. So, how is your climate?
Still feeling a bit warm.
Yes, it looks like you're running a temperature, so I'd like to run some more tests just to see if any of these symptoms are related. Sometimes we can focus on treating one thing and miss or even cause other issues. So have you noticed any of the symptoms recently?
Well, it's probably nothing, but I have had this cough for maybe 200 years or so not really too long.
200 years isn't very long.
Well, remember, Doctor, I am 4.5 billion years old. Now, by your standards, if I was 50 years old, a bit like you, Doctor, I'd have had this cough maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, well, when you put it like that, it has come on quite quickly. Well, let's have a look at that cough then. Keeping you healthy is very important to all of us, so we need to check all of your environments very carefully. It's called environmental science. Now, as you know, the air all around you is contained in a very thin atmosphere, and it seems like there's something in your air that might be affecting you. So I think we should probably take a sample.
A sample? That doesn't sound very good.
Oh, don't worry, I'll just get the sensor.
A sensor? That sounds worse.
Earthy, please, just relax. A sensor is just a tool that we use to help us find out what's in your air. Sensors can often look like this, which detect lots of different things in your air, like pollutants. Now, I have a sample from about 200 years ago, but we need one from today, just to see if anything has changed. So, could you just give me a quick sample, please, Earthy?
Okay, sending you one now.
Oh, thank you very much. Whew. Now then, let's have a look. Well, looks like we've got some oxygen, which is important because that's what we breathe in. We've got nitrogen, which again is absolutely fine. The majority of the air that we breathe is made up of nitrogen gas. There's some carbon dioxide and some other naturally occurring gases in your air too, but they're a very small part of the air you breathe. Now, it looks like you have a little bit more carbon dioxide than you should in your atmosphere, which might explain why you're running a bit of a temperature. But, oh, hang on. Oh dear.
What?
It's all okay. You also have these other things. Got this black stuff that looks like little black dots or particles.
So what does that mean?
It's a good question. We call it particulate matter, and it seems to be mainly coming from cars. Smaller than a grain of sand, but if you breathe it in, it can lead to some very serious health problems, particularly damaging your lungs.
So what can we do to help?
Well, there's a few things we can do. We can use more public transport. We can try cycling instead of going in a car. We can even try sharing cars, but make sure you keep your windows open and wear a mask. We can use eco-friendly cars that don't run on fossil fuels, maybe electric cars. And also, there's always good old walking in the beautiful outdoors. Okay, so we've had a look at the health of your air, but I think we should probably check your water as well. After all, you are almost completely covered in water. Give us a twirl. Now, all life on Earth depends on water, so I think we need to make sure your water is nice and healthy and full of life. We're going to need to take a closer look, so I think we're going to need another sample.
Gonna fill it for you now, Doctor. Much better. Sending it over.
Thank you, Earthy. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at this. There's a lot in there. Well, first of all, a fish. That's a good sign. This represents all the fish in your protected marine areas. Now, the more fish in the sea, the better. Obviously, it means more biodiversity, and it also means, well, more food.
So that means there are more fish in the sea for my fish and chips on a Friday night?
Well, more importantly, more fish in the sea means more food for other animals, and the more life in the ocean in general. Now, ocean is full of life is good news for your climate change as well, because one of the things that really helps is plankton. Plankton traps carbon dioxide and also gives out oxygen. Carbon dioxide is one of the greenhouse gases which increases your temperature. Right, let's have a look at what else we've got. Oh.
Oh, is that a jellyfish? Ew!
Well, unfortunately, some turtles think that, but no, it's a plastic bag.
A plastic bag? What's that doing in there? How many are there in my oceans?
Oh, I don't know, quite a few. Probably about, let's have a look, 1 trillion a year?
A trillion a year? Well, that's going to be... That's 2 million a minute. Why are there so many?
They're only used once, you see, they're disposable.
So you mean to tell me they're disposing of those bags in my oceans?
Not directly, but yes, that's where they sort of end up when people have finished using them. Let's have a look. Oh, okay.
A straw? What's a straw doing in there? Is someone trying to drink my oceans? What's wrong with straws?
Well, you see, the problem with straws, Earthy, is they suck. People only use them once, and again, they throw them away, and they end up in the sea. They break down into small pieces, and then they get swallowed by animals, and that can cause all sorts of problems. So I think we probably want to get rid of that one. Okay, well, things look a little bit better now. We've got rid of all those bits, but I think what we really need to do is have a good close look under a microscope. So, let's have a look. Well, there is something else in here.
Ah, I've got worms! Ew!
No, it's much worse. You've had too much fibre.
But, hang on, I thought fibre was good for you.
Yes, generally speaking, but this is plastic fibre. It's not good for anybody.
Well, how did that get there?
They're shed from when people wash their clothes that are made from artificial materials like acrylics. So that would be things like nylon, polyester, and even fleeces.
They're made of plastic.
Yes, fleeces are made from recycled plastic bottles.
What? But recycling, that's a good thing though, isn't it?
Well, generally speaking, recycling is, but the problem is the plastic ends up in our oceans when people wash their clothes. They get washed out of the washing machine, they go down into the rivers. Roughly about 700,000 microfibers are released every time these clothes are washed. In fact, they account for 85% of all the man-made waste on our shorelines.
So, what can you prescribe for it then?
There's a new treatment available that scientists have helped to make. It's a type of fabric ball. You just pop one of these in your washing machine along with the clothes and it traps any escaping microfibers.
Big bits of plastic, small bits of plastic, now worms! Oh wait, I mean microfibers. How long have I got left, Doctor? Be honest with me. I don't want to be a barren, lifeless place. Have you seen Mars lately? They call it the Red Planet, but it's just so beige. Please, Doctor, is there anything you can give me for it?
Earthy, please, hold your horses. It's fine. There's lots of things we can do. I think what I'm going to do is prescribe a clean-up to try and help. Now, there's lots of local projects that people can get involved in to help clean up places like parks and beaches. And we've also heard about something called One Piece a Day. Just pick up one piece of litter every single day and put it in the bin. And if everybody does that, that's going to reduce the amount of plastic in our ocean by thousands of pieces every single year. So, you can even post a photo of yourself on social media if you use the hashtag #OnePieceAday. And if possible, try and recycle what you find. Also, bags for life and reusable straws are going to help with this as well. So less bags and less straws ending up in your oceans. Well, I think you've given you a very thorough checkup today. We've looked at the health of your environment, your air, and your water.
It doesn't sound very good. On top of my increasing temperature, you've told me I'm suffering from air pollution and my oceans are filling up with plastic. Things are pretty bad, I guess.
Well, a lot of these conditions are linked. If we treat one, then we can help treat other symptoms. And as we said earlier, there are things that can be done to help. We have teams of environmental scientists who are coming up with amazing equipment and technology to help, monitoring all of these conditions and more. So, this helps us to come up with better ways of keeping you nice and healthy. These scientists have already helped to begin restore you. Remember the hole in your ozone layer? Well, we stopped using certain chemicals and that's closed up. Remember your acid rain issue? Well, by filtering out certain chemicals from industry and vehicles, we've managed to reduce that and you're a lot better. And environmental scientists are working to tackle your temperature increase, which is changing your climate too. So if everyone can help, you'll feel better with just a few actions. Now, just remember to take your prescription.
Oh, thank you, Doctor, for all your help.
Thank you, and you're welcome, Earthy, and we'll see you in about 200 years for your next checkup. Well, maybe I won't see you.